Something wild is happening in hip-hop right now, and social media is melting down as we speak. Because after almost 3 decades of mystery, silence, rumors, and conspiracy theories, a new explosive twist just dropped in the Tupac Shakur murder case, and this one has the entire rap world frozen. According to what insiders are calling a shocking development, 2 of the biggest names in the culture, Snoop Dogg and Diddy, are now being named as suspects in a confidential investigative report that supposedly resurfaced behind closed doors. And the internet. The internet is losing its mind. Fans are demanding answers. Old interviews are being dug up. Old beefs are being re-examined. And people are asking the same question. How did Snoop Dogg and Diddy, 2 untouchable legends, end up linked to the most talked about murder in hip-hop history? What makes this even more chaotic is that anonymous insiders claim this information wasn't supposed to go public yet. But once the documents leaked, emotions ran high, tensions skyrocketed. And suddenly the entire rap community is split right down the middle. Some say it's revenge. Some say it's lies. Some say the truth was buried for years. But tonight, everything comes to light. The moment the leaked documents hit the internet, everything shifted. It started with a late-night post from an anonymous burner account, the kind that usually drops useless conspiracy theories. But this time, what they posted didn't feel like trolling. It felt real. They uploaded 3 blurry photos of alleged internal investigation notes. And the words circled in red sent shockwaves through the hip-hop world. Persons of interest: Sean Combs Diddy, Calvin Brodus Snoop Dogg. Within seconds, the post went viral. Screenshots spread like wildfire. TikTok detectives jumped on live immediately. Fans were stunned, confused, angry, and terrified of what this meant. People always joked that there was more to the story behind Tupac's death, that big names were involved. But nobody, absolutely nobody, expected Snoop and Diddy to be named like this. These weren't small-time rappers or forgotten figures from the era. These were giants, legends, icons who shaped the culture. So why were they suddenly being dragged into the darkest chapter in rap history? The internet cracked open with theories. Old interviews of Tupac talking about betrayal resurfaced everywhere. People replayed Snoop's old comments on their past tensions. They rewatched Diddy's 90s footage like it was evidence in a courtroom. But what made the situation explode even more was that insiders claimed the leak came from inside the LVMPD. Meaning it wasn't just fan speculation anymore. It was a real investigative thread, one that was never meant to be public. Backstage, behind closed doors, the hip-hop industry fell into panic mode. Celebrities texted each other with messages like, "Bro, did you see this? Is this real?" Group chats lit up with arguments, accusations, and questions that no one had answers to. Some artists refused to comment out of fear of getting dragged into the mess. Others whispered to insiders, promising to stay quiet until things calmed down. Meanwhile, fans were outraged. Many felt betrayed. For nearly 30 years, people believed Tupac's death was the result of gang retaliation, personal feuds, or political targeting. But this leak suggested something bigger, something orchestrated, planned and hidden behind Hollywood smiles and industry connections. And that's when the drama got even messier. Early the next morning, a passerby filmed Snoop Dogg arriving at his studio in Burbank with a tense expression. You never see Snoop like that no-chill vibe, no jokes, no swagger. His security rushed him inside as paparazzi screamed questions at him. "Snoop, do you know why you're being named? Is the Tupac leak real? Are you involved at all?" He didn't answer. Not one word. And that silence only added fuel to the fire. That same afternoon, Diddy was seen leaving a restaurant in Miami. Cameras surrounded him instantly. But unlike Snoop, Diddy snapped. He fired back at reporters, yelling, "Don't play with my name. Don't play with my legacy." His voice cracked not with anger, but fear. This is lies. Straight lies. But once those clips hit the internet, people felt something was off. The trembling hands, the defensive tone, the nervous pacing. Comment sections exploded. "He looks guilty. Nah, Diddy, shaking like he hiding something. Snoop too quiet. This is weird. I don't think either of them expected this to come out. Bro, this feels like a movie. Inside the industry, executives scrambled. Record labels panicked about brand deals. Streaming platforms prepared statements in case anything escalates. Some producers even canceled sessions with both Snoop and Diddy because they didn't want to get caught in the storm. But behind all the chaos, there was something deeper happening, something emotional, something personal. Snoop's family was rattled. Sources say his wife, Shantae, confronted him directly when he walked through the door after hours of media harassment. "Calvin, what is going on?" she asked, her voice shaking. "Why is your name in this? Why now, after all these years?" Snoop, exhausted from the relentless questions, sat down heavily on the couch. "I don't know," he muttered. "I really don't know. But somebody's trying to drag me into something I had nothing to do with." "But they named you," she insisted. "The world always thinks something," he snapped, then immediately regretted his tone. He rubbed his temples, trying to calm down. "I didn't do nothing. Pac was my brother. We had tensions, but I would never do something like that." Shant stared at him, torn between loyalty and fear. "Then why your name? Why now?" That was the part Snoop couldn't answer. Meanwhile, across the country, Diddy locked himself inside his Miami mansion. His team tried to advise him, telling him to stay silent until lawyers reviewed everything. But Diddy was pacing, paranoid, overwhelmed. "This is a setup," he kept saying. "Someone's trying to destroy me. First, those lawsuits, now this. They're trying to bury my whole legacy." His longtime friend leaned in, whispering, "You need to stay calm, Puff. Panicking makes you look bad." Diddy snapped back. "I'm not panicking. I'm fighting for my life." The emotional pressure was building. Fans were divided. The media was circling like vultures. And deep inside the industry, insiders started hinting that the leak wasn't random. Someone wanted these names exposed. Some said it was a former associate looking for revenge. Some said it was a detective who refused to stay silent. Some said it was a political move. Some even whispered that this was connected to a bigger federal case. But the scariest theory, the one fans were too afraid to say out loud, was that maybe, just maybe, this wasn't the full leak. Just the beginning. The drama reached its first boiling point when a mysterious voice note started circulating on social media. A raspy voice claimed, "This ain't even half the names they got. This goes deeper than Snoop and Diddy." They all knew. It was cryptic. Chilling, and nobody could verify if it was real. But fans believed it. People began digging into every old beef, every secret tension, every questionable moment from the 90s. They pieced together timelines like detectives, pointing out inconsistencies, coincidences, and moments that suddenly felt suspicious. The narrative was spiraling beyond anyone's control. And then, just when people thought it couldn't get wilder, another leak dropped. Not a document, not a rumor, not a voice note, a message from someone claiming to be a retired investigator on the case. And what they said changed everything. The second leak hit harder than the first. This time, it didn't come from a burner account or a glitchy screenshot. It came from a retired LVMPD detective who went by the initials JR. Someone recorded his voice during a private conversation. And within hours, the clip was circulating everywhere. In the recording, JR's voice was shaky and hushed. Like he knew he was saying something he shouldn't. "We were pressured. We couldn't name certain people. Too powerful. Too connected." The case wasn't just gang retaliation. There were interests. And there were people in the industry we were told to leave out. And then he said the part that set the internet on fire. There were two names that came up early, Combs and Brodus. But we were told to bury them. Fans were stunned. Some were crying on TikTok Live. Others were pacing around their rooms like they were uncovering a government conspiracy. Comment sections exploded, bro. What? They buried the names. Nah, this is bigger than music. Someone is trying to expose the truth. Snoop. Diddy? I'm losing it. Within minutes, major outlets picked up the story. Some reported it cautiously. Others sensationalized it for clicks. But the narrative was now out of control, and the pressure on Snoop and Diddy was suffocating. Snoop's team tried to downplay it. His publicist released a quick statement saying, "Snoop Dogg has never been involved in any crime related to Tupac Shakur. This is a fabricated, baseless attempt to damage his character." But fans didn't buy it. They wanted emotion, transparency, tears, not legal language. Meanwhile, Diddy's camp was in chaos. His security team doubled overnight. His house was surrounded by paparazzi drones. Lawyers were calling nonstop. One of his advisors even begged him to leave the country for a few weeks to let the noise die down, but Diddy refused. He wasn't running. Inside the mansion, things were tense. His daughter, Chance, approached him one morning with tears in her eyes. "Dad, what's happening? People at school are asking me if you hurt Tupac." Diddy froze, his throat tightened. "If you hurt Tupac." Diddy froze, his throat tightened. For the first time in days, he felt something pierce through his panic. Guilt. Not guilt over the crime, but guilt over dragging his family into a decades-old nightmare. He knelt in front of her. "Baby, listen to me. I didn't do anything to Tupac. People are lying. They're trying to destroy me. I need you to trust me, okay?" Chance hugged him tightly, but her hands trembled. "Then why are they saying your name?" Diddy didn't have an answer. Back on the West Coast, Snoop decided to take a more direct approach. He drove to his mother's house, the place he always went when life overwhelmed him. But when he walked inside, he saw the look on her face: concern, fear, confusion. "Why is your name on the TV?" His mother asked softly. "Why are they saying you're connected to Pac's death?" Snoop exhaled deeply, running a hand over his head. "Mama, they trying to drag my name in some mess. I didn't do nothing. You know, I loved Pac." She nodded slowly, but her eyes watered. "I believe you, but the world don't, and that scares me." Snoop sat beside her, leaning back on the couch where he'd spent half his childhood. "Somebody's playing a dangerous game," he muttered, "and they trying to use Pac's name to do it." His phone buzzed relentlessly in his pocket. Lawyers, label heads, journalists. He ignored all of them. Instead, he whispered, "Mama, I feel like something bad is coming." And he was right. Because that evening, a third leak dropped, and this one included receipts. This time, someone released pages from an old internal report. Some parts were heavily blacked out, but 2 lines were crystal clear. Possible industry-connected involvement. Names repeatedly mentioned by informants. S. Combs. C. Brodus. The internet broke. Twitter practically exploded. YouTubers went live for hours dissecting every detail. Live streamers were screaming into their mics. They were mentioned multiple times. "This is bigger than all of us." I knew the industry was hiding something. Fans made timelines, charts, even diagrams, trying to connect the dots. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, alliances were falling apart. A well-known West Coast producer jumped on Instagram Live and made things even worse. He said, "Look, I'm not saying they did it, but I'm saying the street's been whispering for years. This ain't new." Within minutes, his live was reposted everywhere. Fans treated his vague comments like gospel truth. That same night, he received a phone call from Snoop himself. "Snoop Dogg speaking," Snoop said sharply. "Why you running your mouth? 'Cause. Why you saying stuff that'll have people thinking I got something to do with Pac?" The producer stuttered. "Bro, I wasn't saying you did it. I'm just saying people talk." "You knew what you were doing," Snoop shot back. "You adding gas to the fire when my whole family's scared?" The producer tried to defend himself, but Snoop ended the call. His trust in the industry was cracking. People were turning on him. Friends he had known for decades either stayed silent or made vague statements to protect their own brands. For Diddy, things were even darker. Someone he once considered part of his inner circle leaked a screenshot of an old private message where Diddy said Pac always causing problems. It was from the mid-90s. taken completely out of context, but fans didn't care. They ran with it. In a tense meeting at his mansion, Diddy slammed his hand on the table. "Who is doing this to me?" he shouted. "How are these old messages getting out? Who in my circle is feeding the media?" His lawyer replied grimly, "Someone close to you. Someone who has access." Diddy's face fell. Just then, another advisor cautiously spoke. "Maybe this isn't about Tupac. Maybe this is part of something broader." "What you mean?" Diddy hissed. "There's whispers about investigations. People digging into old industry ties. You're not the only one being watched." "This is a takedown," Diddy whispered. "A coordinated takedown." And then came the twist that nobody expected. A new anonymous account posted a chilling message. Only 2 names have been leaked. But the list has 7. Fans lost their minds. 7 suspects. 7 industry-connected names. The speculation went insane. People threw out random guesses. Some dragged innocent artists into the fire. Others insisted the names were already hiding in plain sight. But one thing was clear. This wasn't random leaks anymore. This wasn't coincidence. This was a war, and someone wanted Snoop and Diddy at the center of it. And right when people thought it couldn't escalate further, a 4th leak appeared. This one with a timestamp, a location, and a direct claim that someone close to Tupac had finally spoken up. The world held its breath, because this wasn't a random claim. This one came from inside Pac's own circle. The 4th leak didn't come from a burner account, a detective, or an anonymous whistleblower. This one came from someone nobody expected to speak up after nearly 3 decades. Someone who had stayed out of interviews, avoided documentaries, and refused every request to talk about Tupac publicly. It came from a former Outlaws associate who went by the name KB. He uploaded a video to his private account, shaky lighting. Raw voice, no fancy editing, just a man who looked like he had been holding a secret for too long. The clip was only 11 minutes long, but it detonated across the internet like a bomb. "I ain't scared no more," KB said in the video. "I've been quiet all these years, but if they're dropping names now, I'm not going to be the one holding the truth inside. I was there. I heard conversations. I saw people get nervous when Pac started calling folks out by name." He leaned close to the camera, eyes swollen and emotional. "People think this was just East Coast versus West Coast. Nah, man. This was deeper. Pac was about to expose some industry deals. And certain people didn't like that. Then he said it. The line that blew the roof off the internet. I heard Diddy and Snoop's names back then. I ain't saying they did it, but they were on Pac's list of people he didn't trust." Pac felt betrayed. The clip ended abruptly, as if he panicked and shut it down. But it was enough. Enough to send shockwaves through fans, the media, and the entire hip-hop community. Across the world, fans reacted instantly. "No, this is crazy." He said he heard the names. "If people from Pac's camp talking, it's over. Snoop and Diddy must be losing sleep right now." News outlets replayed the clip nonstop. Commentators debated whether KB was telling the truth or chasing clout. But his raw, shaky delivery made it feel too real, too emotional, too specific. Inside Snoop Dogg's home, the mood was tense. His wife Shantae sat across from him at the kitchen table, staring at her phone with a worried expression. "Snoop. He said your name," she whispered. Again. Snoop rubbed his forehead, frustrated and exhausted. "I know. I've seen it. But baby, he twisting things." Pac didn't trust nobody toward the end. He was paranoid, stressed, had too many people whispering in his ear. Chant placed her phone down. "But this isn't just drama anymore. People are scared to let the kids go to school. Our family group chat is a mess. Your cousins in Mississippi saying they're getting weird calls from reporters." Snoop leaned back, exhaling sharply. "This is a setup," he muttered. "Somebody trying to bring me down, and they using Pac's name as the weapon." Before Shantae could respond, Snoop's phone rang. It was Suge Knight calling collect from prison. Snoop let it ring twice before answering. "Yeah," he said cautiously. Suge's voice crackled through the line. doggydogg.eoc. You see the circus out there? I see it, Snoop replied. Suge chuckled darkly. They finally turning the spotlight on the wrong people. I've been saying this for years. People got involvement out there nobody want to talk about. Snoop tensed. What you talking about, Suge? I'm talking about the truth. You want this mess to stop? You need to start naming the real people Pac was beefing with. Snoop didn't like the tone. Don't drag me into your old war. Man, Suge laughed again. You already in it. Whether you like it or not. Snoop hung up. He didn't want any more of Suge's cryptic games. Across the country, Diddy was dealing with a different kind of chaos. His lawyer slammed a stack of printed tweets on the table. Sean, this is spiraling. People are tagging you in death threats. Fans are assuming guilt. You need to address this head-on. Not with a statement, with your face, your voice. Diddy sighed, pacing the room. I don't want to cry on camera. I don't want to beg people to believe me. The lawyer responded sharply. If you don't speak, they'll control the narrative for you. Just then, Diddy's phone buzzed with a message from an old friend in the industry. They coming after more than your name. Be careful who you trust. Diddy froze. The wording felt deliberate, ominous, like someone was warning him about something bigger than a rumor. Meanwhile, online investigators were going crazy. Reddit threads turned into full-blown detective boards. One thread claimed the leaks came from someone inside law enforcement trying to reopen the case. Another theory insisted the leaks were part of a documentary marketing stunt. Others believed Pac's family was finally pushing for the truth. But the wildest theory surfaced when a hacked document began circulating in private Discord servers. The document claimed the new investigation had a list of 7 persons of interest. And only 2 names had leaked so far. Fans tried to guess the other 5. Some theories were absurd. Some were disrespectful. But the fear among the accused, even the innocent, was very real. One producer from the 90s went live, practically sweating on camera. I don't know why my name being thrown around. Practically sweating on camera. I don't know why my name being thrown around. I ain't never even met Pac. Stop deeming my wife. Your favorite rappers began disabling comments. Former death row artists suddenly went silent. A well-known music journalist tweeted, "People are panicking. This is the wildest industry moment I've ever seen." Back in LA, Snoop's team held a tense emergency meeting. "This is damaging your brand," one manager said. "You have endorsements watching this closely." Another added, "If one more video drops with your name in it, companies will start cutting ties." Snoop slammed his hand on the table. "I ain't do nothing. I loved Pac. What you want me to do, confess to a crime I didn't commit just to get y'all off my back." Everyone fell silent. Snoop stormed out of the room, heading straight to his studio. He needed space. He needed quiet. But even inside the booth, he felt paranoia creeping in. He whispered to himself, "Who? Trying to bury me?" Meanwhile, something even bigger was brewing. Because late that night, another clip leaked privately. And this one was different. This wasn't an old interview. Not a random testimony. Not a shaky phone camera confession. This was surveillance audio allegedly from a conversation that happened in the 90s. The audio was grainy, hard to hear, but fans thought they recognized the voices to men. One whispering about handling a situation, the other saying Pac making too much noise. Then came the part that sent chills up spines. A voice that fans swear sounded like someone iconic. Saying, "You know who paid?" People went insane. Who paid? Who said it? Who recorded it? Why now? The suspense was unbearable. And then, just as the internet was collapsing under the weight of speculation, the account that posted the audio made a cryptic announcement. Final leak drops tomorrow. This one names everyone. The hip-hop world froze. Snoop's home went silent. Diddy's mansion went into lockdown. Artists who shouldn't have been worried suddenly panicked. Fans counted down the minutes, because the next leak wouldn't just be rumors. It wouldn't be whispers. It wouldn't be speculation. The next leak would name every person connected to what happened that night, and it would change everything. The countdown to the final leak became one of the biggest online events of the year. TikTok lives were filled with creators staring at their screens. Twitter Spaces stayed open all night, with thousands of fans debating theories and panicking about what the drop would reveal. Every hour, new rumors spread like wildfire. One of the names is a top rapper from the 2000s. One of the names is a producer with a Grammy. One of the names is someone Pac actually trusted. Nobody slept. Nobody logged off. Even mainstream news channels reported on it, saying the leak might be unprecedented, dangerous, and potentially explosive for the music industry. Inside Diddy's mansion, security increased. His team stormed through the halls, confiscating old hard drives, checking for hidden mics, and double-checking Wi-Fi passwords. Diddy stood near the glass wall overlooking his backyard. He wasn't angry anymore, he was scared. "This ain't a game," he muttered. "Somebody is trying to ruin my life." His head of security replied, "This feels targeted, like they want to break you publicly." Diddy's voice cracked. Why now? After all these years? But no one could answer. Meanwhile, Snoop Dogg was in his studio, sitting in the dim light, staring at an old photo of him and Tupac. He ran his thumb over the picture, eyes filled with frustration and sadness. "I never hurt you, homie," he whispered. "Why my name in this?" His phone rang. It was Dr. Dre calling. Snoop picked up immediately. "You good?" Dre asked. "No." "Not even close," Snoop admitted. Dre exhaled. "Listen, if this leak drops what they say it's gonna drop, a lot of people are gonna panic. But don't lose your cool. Innocent people get dragged in messes like this all the time." Snoop didn't respond. Dre added quietly, "And remember, Pac had enemies we never knew about." Snoop rubbed his forehead. "I know." The internet reached peak insanity when the account scheduled the leak for 6 p.m. exactly. The page went from 200K followers to 3.5 million in 12 hours. News vans parked outside old recording studios, former death row members' homes, and even Tupac's family home. The entire hip-hop world held its breath. 5:58 p.m., 5:59 p.m., 6 p.m. The account posted nothing. People refreshed like crazy. The comment section turned into a riot. "Drop it. Don't play with us. Where is it? You scared now?" Then, at 6:07 p.m., the screen finally updated. A video appeared with the title, "The Final Files, Unedited." The internet froze. People pressed play. The video opened with footage of a dimly lit desk. A man's gloved hand placed a folder labeled 1996 Internal Report, Confidential. He opened it. Inside were photos, audio transcripts, and names. So many names that people in the live chats screamed. The narrator, the same deep, distorted voice from previous leaks, spoke calmly. "The information you are about to hear was collected during private investigations regarding the events surrounding the death of Tupac Shakur." Every viewer leaned forward. The narrator continued, "We are releasing these files because key individuals attempted to bury them permanently." Everyone felt chills. Then the narrator began reading the list of persons previously questioned or linked through witness reports. Some names were expected. Some were new. Some made no sense. But then came the moment that pushed the entire internet into chaos. The narrator said 2 names remain the most controversial due to contradictions in witness statements. Calvin Broadus Jr., Sean Combs. Snoop Diddy. But before the narrator could continue, the video glitched hard. The screen scrambled, the audio warped. The footage froze. Then a new voice cut in, a different distortion, a different person. A hacker. "This video has been intercepted." The comment sections exploded in confusion. The hacker continued, "You were not supposed to see this. The information is incomplete. The narrative is being controlled." People panicked. What is happening? Is this part of the leak? Who is hacking who? The hacker dropped a bombshell. You think these celebrities are scared? They're nothing. Their pawns. The real truth involves people much higher than Snoop and Diddy. The chat went silent. Then the hacker said something that nobody saw coming. Tupac didn't just have beef with artists. He was fighting systems. He was fighting industries. He was fighting power. More static, more distortion. Then there were government names in the original file. The audio cut abruptly. The screen went black. Then YouTube removed the video, deleted. Gone. People screamed online, re-upload it. Who took it down? This is crazy. They're covering something. The leak account disappeared completely, vanished off the platform like it never existed. Twitter started trending with hashtag Tupac files, removed hashtag. They stopped the leak. Hashtag Snoop and Diddy. Innocent hashtag who was behind this. The conspiracy doubled instead of dying. Back in Snoop's studio, his team rushed in. Bro, the video got taken down. People think you were hacked. I don't care, Snoop interrupted. This ain't funny anymore. My family crying. My name in dirt for nothing. His manager sat beside him. You want to clear your name? Snoop glared. Obviously. Then you need to speak not in interviews, not in a statement. You need to tell your side before someone else creates it for you. Snoop nodded slowly. He was ready to fight back. Across the country, Diddy's mansion was in chaos. Assistants ran around shouting. His lawyer yelled over them. The takedown wasn't random. Someone made a call. Someone higher than us? Diddy sat on the edge of his couch, hands shaking. This is bigger than the industry, he whispered. Bigger than me. Bigger than Pac. His lawyer agreed quietly. We're dealing with people who don't want the truth out there. Any truth. Even the fake stuff. And then Diddy said the line that defined the moment. I'm not scared of Snoop. I'm not scared of Sugi. I'm scared of whoever deleted that video. Meanwhile, fans around the world stayed glued to their screens, reposting screen recordings and screenshots before they disappeared. But the drama wasn't over. Late that night, a new message appeared on Snoop Dogg's personal email. A message with no sender. No subject. Just one sentence, stop digging. And Diddy received the same message. Both men stared at their screens, realizing the same terrifying truth. Someone wanted the past buried, and they were willing to silence anyone, even innocent people, to keep it that way. The Tupac murder case wasn't just reopened. It was weaponized, used to manipulate, used to threaten. Used to control narratives, used to keep people scared. The story wasn't just about who killed Tupac anymore. It had become a story about who wanted the world to never know the truth. And for the first time in decades, Snoop and Diddy were on the same side, running from a ghost they didn't create, and hunted by a secret they didn't understand. And that's where the story stands right now. The industry is buzzing, fans are divided, and emotions are running higher than ever. Because if these allegations keep spreading, if these whispers keep growing, the entire legacy of the 90s rap era could get flipped upside down. Old wounds are reopening, new accusations are catching fire. And people who stayed silent for almost 3 decades are suddenly speaking up. It feels like the past is banging on the door, demanding answers, demanding accountability, demanding truth. But even now, nothing is fully confirmed. Nothing is officially closed. And that uncertainty, that's what has the culture on edge. Some fans believe everything. Some believe nothing. Culture on edge. Some fans believe everything. Some believe nothing. And others are just waiting for the next bombshell to drop. Because with a case this legendary, this emotional, this historically deep, one twist can change everything. So now I'm turning it over to you. What do you think is really going on? Are these rumors just another wave of internet chaos? Or do you think hidden players from decades ago are finally being exposed? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. I'm reading everything. Make sure you like this video so more people see what's unfolding. Subscribe to the channel because I'm telling you, we're covering every update, every leak, every interview, every twist as it happens. And hit that notification bell because trust me, You do not want to miss what's coming next. This story is far from over. The truth could shake the culture, clear names, or destroy them. So stay locked in, stay tuned, and stay ready, because the next chapter, it's going to be even crazier than this one.